Welcome to Touched and Empowered, a show created to empower individuals to value their lives by hosting think tank discussions that will inspire positive action. Touched and Empowered with Katie and Ace starts now.
So, welcome to this episode of Touched and Empowered. This is Katie. I am here again with Ace, as always.
Hello, hello.
My buddy.
Hi.
So, this week, I don't know, how did you want to start this one? Oh shit, when did that happen?
Partly, yes. Additional. Yeah. So, funny enough, before we got into this episode, there were two things that I came up with. One of them was
Okay, you'll have to say that again because apparently you were too loud for your microphone to pick it up.
Oh, funny. That's
better.
Now imagine that times 10.
I swear, your mic does some silly things.
It does, but essentially to match the silliness of what I was trying to share I was like, oh my gosh, I don't know where to begin about what to do and how to do it and what to focus on. Yay, ADHD. So I was like, let's just do it. Let's just be expressive. And then
Yes.
and then Katie saw how long my hair was.
Yeah, and it was like, oh shit, when did that happen?
Yeah.
Which they kind of go hand in hand.
Yeah, they do. They do. That's very true. Please
Because,
express out.
well, there are times where, like, for example, being a mom, oh crap, my son has grown up. When did that happen?
Mm-hmm.
And then, crap, my son's an adult. Fuck it, I'm going to do what I want now. And
yeah.
So, it's kind of like you recognize one and then the other one has possibilities and vice versa. Not that it's like I'm going out clubbing or anything else like that, like I used to before I was a mom, but the idea is there.
I hear you. Yeah, like I know for a fact that I am not going out tonight. It's Friday night. We normally record on Friday nights, folks.
Right.
I am not going out tonight because I'm going to trauma therapy after this, and that's exhausting.
Oh,
So,
this.
yeah. So before going into it, I was like, you know what we're gonna do? We're gonna go edit. Let's put on let's put on the craziest makeup that I would never put out in public. If you're watching on YouTube, yes,
yeah, you got lots of eyeshadow on, and none of it is the AI generated makeup. This is all real makeup today.
This is all real makeup. I was like, let's add purple, let's add blue, let's add green, let's make this nautical weird princess unicorn thing happen. And yes, we're doing that on my eyes. And then I was like, all right, we're gonna do that. And then I got this necklace from somebody, and I never wear this because it creeps me out. So why would I wear it in public? So I decided.
Why does it creep you out? It only looks like a necklace of gold teeth.
It does, but look at the gold teeth. They're faces.
Oh, you can't tell that from a distance.
Exactly.
Yeah, so looking up close, you could tell that they're like little masks.
They're little faces. It's a little weird. So and then I was like, it's October, it's Halloweenish. Let's add like a black dress, tube top. Why not? And then let's witchy my hair up. So here we are, folks and gentlemen, ladies and gentlemen. It's Friday. Where did the time go? I don't know. Here we are.
Time does seem to be moving very quickly all of a sudden.
It does, right? I mean, we were talking about September, and I don't remember it.
Yeah, I mean, I know stuff happened in September.
I remember that it was like a time of peace for me.
I know that there were, let's see, I know of a few birthdays. I know of a few get-togethers, but it honestly feels like it either A, never happened, or that it was more than a month ago.
That or I want to forget part of it.
Or you want to, well, I'm not going into the whole I want to forget parts of it.
Honestly, September was like one of the most peaceful months I've had in my life. So like, to be honest and to be very fair, well, I guess like around the first, except for the beginning of September, because that was AWOL. The rest of September has been like pretty calm and super chill, and I'm like, ooh, this is nice.
Which we can appreciate these
Yeah.
times of calm,
Mhm.
because there are so many times where our life is so incredibly hectic that it's just constantly go, 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 go. That when you actually have a few moments of calm, you're like, oh, what am I supposed to do now?
I loved it.
And I think that's one of the reasons why September seems to have just flown by, is because we both had our own craziness and then we had our calm, and it's almost like it went by and yes, it went by too fast, but it also kind of feels like it didn't happen.
Yes.
I feel like I'm missing the entire, I know September happened.
Yeah, I'm also thinking about it. I'm like, there were like it was like the first time. Oh, all right, let me talk about the glimmers of September so that we
Yes.
remember it.
We remember the glimmers, yes.
The glimmers. One of my favorite glimmers was I did some work on a project. I went to a meeting, and then I went to a Buddhist meeting, and then I came home, put on one of my favorite Netflix movies.
Mm-hmm.
There's a lot of flavor coming out of me today. One of my favorite Netflix movies. And essentially it took, I don't actually drink like a lot.
Yeah, I don't, neither one of us drinks a lot.
Yeah, no,
It's the occasional drink every now and then kind of deal.
Yeah, so I had brandy at home, and I think I mentioned this on one of the episodes, but I don't actually like to drink like a full glass of brandy. That's not what I'm interested
No,
in.
it's like half a thimble or shot glass or whatever.
Right, and I don't even do that. I just like having like a lick of it at the bottom of a glass, and then when I'm watching this movie, I like literally just let it drop, like touch my
Drop at a time. Gotcha.
Well, sort of. It's just like I like the way that brandy like tingles on
Mm-hmm.
your tongue essentially when you first like take a lick of it. So that's as much as I drink. I'll like actually just go and then just let it tingle and then watch the movie. And that was one of my most favorite moments of September. Was that one night I came home, peace, everything was fine. My carpets were clean, the AC was on, I had the brandy, and I went.
Mine, the one thing that I enjoyed the most about September was one of my friends had a birthday.
Ooh, yes.
And normally very quiet, very calm, very reserved. And we went out, we didn't do anything crazy. There wasn't any alcohol involved or anything else like that. But it was like we both kind of just fell back into that high school, teenage, I don't care what anyone thinks about me energy.
Yes.
And it was just fun to kind of have that carefree attitude while hanging out with my friend for a couple hours.
That's...
So for 4 hours, we celebrated their birthday, just playing the fool. I will admit I was a fool. I'm pretty sure I acted like an idiot by Katie's standards now. But it felt like we were back in high school, just hanging out, celebrating a birthday.
Oh, that's nice. I miss those nights. I feel like I have to go back to New Jersey and hang out with like, you'll see him on my Instagram feed a lot if any of you follow me on Instagram. Like my friend Ezra, we've known each other since we were 11, and yes, we made a pact that if none of our relationships work by the time we're 34, we'll get married and have babies. Yes, I'm using his name because I think he's gonna let me.
We love friendships like that.
Exactly. And like I've known him, yeah, I've known him since childhood. So yeah, that's 23, 22 years of friendship. Oh my goodness.
Yeah.
Um, like having a crazy night like that, I could do with him
Yeah.
and not feel judged, hopefully not get injured. And we're
Yeah, I love that. Judgment-free zone. Hopefully no injuries.
then we're fine. Safe space.
Save space. And I think that's the one thing that I had with my friend for their birthday was both of us have a lot going on in our worlds. And in a different lifetime or a different timeline, we probably would have hooked up, gotten married, and spent the rest of our lives together.
Yep.
It just was not in the stars for this lifetime. But we still have that. It doesn't matter what happens. I know they are there if I need them. And they know
Yeah.
that I am there if they need me.
Exactly. Aren't those the best people that I don't actually have many friends that don't do that in my life.
I remember a time when I had a lot more friends like that in my life, but they just never hung around. This is the one friend that's hung around.
Oh, I see. I never hung around the friends that don't do that.
Well,
Like
yeah,
actually,
the ones that don't do that have gone. Now, I will admit, I have one friend. Her name is Mary. If she's listening, she's gonna laugh at me. We met in like third grade. She and I, best friends for life. We have gone years without talking to each other, without texting. And then out of a blue, one of us will send a message to the other one on like Facebook, like, hey, haven't talked to you in a while. Do you want to get together and go grab dinner?
oh,
And
that's
like
cute.
we'll go and we'll like catch up on the last 5 years of our lives while
Oh, I
having
love
dinner.
that. I do have friends like that. I do have friends like that actually. But they're still there if I would call them. I just don't think to call them if I
Yeah,
need them.
I'm 99% sure that if I called Mary, she would be there for me.
Yeah.
And if she called me, I would drop everything for her because she has helped me through a lot of stuff.
Yeah.
She actually came to stay with me for a week after Austin was born
Oh, that's so
while I was
sweet.
recovering. So then that way, while Brian was working, I didn't have to be home by myself.
There you go. That's good.
So
Wow.
yeah, she's one of those that I would definitely drop everything for if she needed me.
Yeah, I have the same friends. It's interesting. All right, so I was doing a lot of like deep inner work, and yes, where
Mhm.
did the time go? Because oh my gosh, I was chanting and doing deep inner work, and I was like going through everything that I haven't forgiven myself for.
That that can be enlightening and rough at the same time,
And exhausted.
and
Yes.
exhausting.
So yes, trauma therapy is fantastic. So I was like, there was as these are coming up, what I've been doing as a really good tool to help feel lighter and kind of do that shadow inner work is every time anything comes up where I'm critical about myself for not doing something,
Mm-hmm.
or for doing something that was not the right thing.
Right.
Um, I've actually practicing, I'm sorry for doing this. And then my inner self also saying it's okay because like because dot 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 dot. So
Right.
for instance, right, for example of what I was just about to say was, I'm so sorry to all of the friends that I didn't listen to about all those guys you said weren't good for me. Thank you so much. I know better now,
Yes.
and I understand when I listen to you that all you're doing is reaffirming what I'm feeling. And I've learned that lesson. It's okay.
And I think that that's one of the great things about having these friends that have known us for so long, even if
Mhm.
they're not in our day to day on a regular basis,
Mhm.
you know, they will call me on my BS. And I know that there were times that I really hated that they called me on my BS. But I know the reason I hated it was because I was so out of alignment. I was so out of integrity. I was so afraid of the reason I was doing what I was doing is because I was afraid of what the repercussions would be if I stopped.
Mm.
Um, for example, there was one relationship that I was in. He was not a good guy. He was very verbally abusive, emotionally abusive, mean. And I continued the relationship with him because I was afraid of how he would deal if I left.
I
And
see.
that is not a healthy relationship at all.
No, never. By the way, if anyone ever tells you, also this is for anyone listening, and if anybody ever says that they can't be there for you and the relationship now, just saying that.
Yeah. Because there are ways to be there for someone without compromising yourself.
Exactly. And I think when somebody just backs out like that, it is probably the most unsupportive place you could be for somebody who needs, if you're ever in a relationship, right? Like for instance, that, Brian had to go to work.
Right?
You had to communicate. He could be there for you. He was being there for you by going to work.
Yeah, he was bringing in the income for a brand new infant because I obviously couldn't go back to work.
Right.
So Mary was not my only friend. I had another friend, April, who also spent a week with me. So one spent a week with me and then the other one came the following week. So I had 2 weeks of support from my friends.
Yeah.
During that time. And I am ever grateful for that. And will find ways to repay them when they say, hey, I need somebody to just sit with me or be with me or help me out with this project or whatever. I've helped April with stuff in the past. Mary's never asked for any help, but anytime if she ever decides, I will definitely drop everything to go help.
That's beautiful. Yeah, I have a bunch of friends that I would do that for.
Mm-hmm.
And I have a bunch of friends who have done that for me in the past year and a half.
The only thing that I've realized is that I have to remember to do that for myself.
Yes, agreed. Yeah, like when you're like, you need to be there for you.
And it's okay to do it for you.
Always.
And for me personally, that was something that I struggled with for a long time because I always thought that I had to be there for everyone else.
Interesting.
Which is
Okay.
which is why I was talking about my friends calling me on my BS because I was so busy being there for everyone else, I was not taking time for myself. And my friends reminded me of it.
Ooh.
And I would get mad at them for reminding me because I thought I still needed to be there for everyone else. Lessons learned. I am still learning.
Ah, that's interesting. No, that's actually a very interesting perspective. Where did the time go? Because I'm trying to loop us back to our concept here.
Mhm.
The reason why is because like I remember when I used to do that. Now I won't at
Yeah.
all. Like if somebody were to call me and they're, let's say, they need me for something
Mhm.
and they call me 8 times, which by the way, that 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 doesn't happen, thankfully.
Yeah.
No one's ever called me 8 times before I picked up. Usually by the second or the third time, it's urgent. Like, oh shit, I need to pick up
Right.
because I don't know, they got a concussion or something. I have a friend out there. I love you. Um, right. And because of that, a good portion of the time, I take my time to do the trauma therapy to make sure that I'm not drinking too much. You know, enjoy my relaxation time, do my morning routine as much as possible so that when I am available for people that need the urgency, I am.
Yes.
For more time out of the day. But
Well,
what I've also learned is like if I'm not in a good headspace to talk to somebody who needs somebody in a good headspace, I let them know, like, hey, are you okay? Do you need anything? And if they say like, I really need to talk to somebody, I'm like, I'm here for you, but I know I'm not in a good headspace right now. I can talk to you in 2 hours, or do you have another friend right now?
yeah, and I think that is the self-awareness that you, me, and everyone else has been learning because we're so used to being there for everyone else and not making sure that we're in a good space before we help others. And there is a great statement about help others from your overflow. You know, fill up your cup and then your overflow is what you share with the rest of the world that you use to help support your friends, your family, your neighbors, your community. Because you do have to take care of yourself first, because otherwise you're going to be all used up and there's going to be nothing left.
Yeah, that's when you get some interesting personality traits that come out that you didn't even know you had. And I'm saying that in a bad way.
Yeah, they're not good. They're not good.
Those are the traits that you're like, whoa.
Yeah, and those are probably the times when my friends called me out on my BS was because I saw something that come up and they're like, "That's not normal for you. That's not normal for you. We need to nip this in the butt. This is not normal for you."
Yeah.
But again, it's something that we need to teach ourselves this because this is not something that my mom didn't teach me this. My mom never taught me to take care of myself first because she wasn't raised to take care of herself first.
Yeah. I do remember when my mom would do self-care moments. She does her self-care.
My mom does now.
My mom is funny. Like I remember this one time we were sitting and watching TV. She was just like nestled in her thing, eating something, and I just hear her scream. She was like nestled in a rocking chair and she was just like eating some food. And while she was watching this movie, we were just sitting and relaxing. And she screamed because it had worms in it. And I just so that's why I have my moments and memories of my mom chilling and relaxing for a second.
You know, okay, if I go back and think about it, yeah, I can see times where like one of my mom's favorite things to do was sit at the dining room table or kitchen table because we had a kitchen table, not a dining room table. She'd have cheese, Triscuits, and her book. And she would just snack on that would be her lunch while she read her book, and that was part of her me time. And I never considered that self-care until like just now I'm realizing that, yeah, that's kind of like her taking self-care back when I was a teenager. But I was never taught that that was something that's good for us to do for ourselves.
Yeah. You know, it's funny. Where did the time go? I'm just gonna keep throwing it out there so we keep reliving it back. I remember when I was like, I had this one book that my mom bought for me when I was 4.
Mm-hmm.
And it was so cute. It was a book, this piglet. Yes, this very cute piglet, because I loved Piglet from Winnie the Pooh. It was illustrated Piglet. I don't even know where this book is, but it's called I Love Me.
Ah,
Freaking brilliant. Before, before, what's it called? Before anyone's time. I was like, that is the smartest book you can give to your daughter, because it talks about I love this, and I love me. Like, I love these activities. I love doing this. I love doing this.
right.
I love going biking. I love putting on a cute dress. I love me. And when I remember this book, and I'm tying it to the point where, like, my mom understood me time meant like either reading something you loved, enjoying something you loved. She wasn't really great at arts and crafts to a degree. She did try.
And I think that's,
She's
gets brownie points.
Yes, and I know she's listening. I love you, Mom. She watches every episode, of course.
Of course.
Of course, that's Mom. So funny. So I remember her taking care of herself. But you know what's funny? I don't I also spent the most time with my mother amongst my sisters.
Well, you're also the youngest.
Yes, and I'm also the one that was born in the US with her.
Right.
And my sisters were in the Philippines, and she had to work here for 6 years away from my mother. So, like, it's a little different.
Yes, different energy, different relationships and everything else like that because of circumstances, which is
So
completely understandable.
so I actually had the experience to watch her sit, scream at worms, and watch a movie. And she also really liked rearranging furniture, which I love doing. I don't know how she did it, because I'm 30 something and my back is getting like going out. Like, I don't know how she did it.
My mom does that too. My mom will go into my house, my sister's house, it doesn't matter. She would just go there and start rearranging furniture.
What is that? Is that like an old lady thing? Like, these are my weights, my furniture. Like, what?
Yeah, this is my workout. Let me shove this couch to this side of the room. Now let me shove it back to this side of the room. Make sure I'm squatting so I'm getting that leg worked out. You know what? It doesn't matter. You know what? As long as you have fun with it, it doesn't matter.
Yeah. Yeah.
That's what I've decided. It doesn't matter. And the only reason that I could say that is because there are a few pieces of furniture that I have moved like 5 times in the last 2 months because it's not quite right in the right spot yet. I don't know why. It just doesn't look like it's in the right spot yet.
And that's okay. And
And
eventually
that's
it
okay.
will.
And eventually it will.
You know what's funny? Every time I moved something, everything was finally in the right spot. I moved.
Yeah, as soon as when everything finds a home, then you move to a new home.
I remember too. I was like, the week of, I was like, oh.
Well, the beauty of it is that whether time is flying or whether time is dragging, we're remembering these times that are happy, that are of self-care, that are bringing up all of these reminders that we do have people in our lives that we can call on, that we can depend on. And I think sometimes just reminding ourselves of that is really important.
Yeah, I agree. Thankfully, we have that. Yesterday, I was talking to somebody on the phone that I almost call every day, right? And he calls me whenever he's having a hard time.
Mm-hmm.
And I remember we were talking, and I was like, wow, I have a lot of people that I can call that'll be there.
Yep.
That's amazing. Katie included.
Yes, Ace included. Absolutely.
Yeah.
You know, we're on opposite side of the country and it's kind of hard to run to the other one side.
Thankfully, we don't have to. But...
Well, we don't have to. We just hop on a Zoom call. We're good.
Exactly. And with that being said, I know that we steered in a really interesting movement path today.
It's a little bit of everything, and that's okay too.
Yes, I hope you've enjoyed. I feel a lot more animated than normal, so please really do enjoy.
Thank you, everyone, and we'll see you next week.
Sweet. Thank you.
Bye.
Thank you for joining us. We hope that the discussion today will inspire you to take positive action in your life. Until next week, be empowered.